gonna fucking do this.
What a bloody joke. And Charles' response was just excellent.
Is there water in there?
I guess it's because of the water.
Okay.
Okay.
Water.
Thanks, idiot.
Okay.
And welcome to Crash with Mike and Rob. It is so good to be back after a doozy of a race down under.
That was a doozy, mate.
Holy crap, mate.
That was a doozy,
That is
mate.
exactly what we had waited 260 days of the year for the next season of Formula One for. Blown away, Rob. It's so good to see you after that race, my man. Was it worth waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning to watch?
I woke up at 6, and yes, but I didn't wake up for the race. I woke up for my dogs. I want that to be noted. But it was 100% worth it.
Mate, gee, I think that it's good to have Australia as the first race of the season back again. It felt a bit weird having it in Bahrain. I remember growing up as a kid. The first race was always that iconic race down to turn one, seeing all sorts of cars off at the first corner, and that was pretty much all I cared about for the first bit. I was such a stupid kid. But seeing Australia back on the calendar as the initial race makes me it just feels correct. I mean, there's so much more support than has ever been, and it just gives a good feeling knowing that I can actually wake up, enjoy my entire Sunday, and I don't have to wake up like an idiot for at least 3 or 4 races of the year. Because I don't know if you know this, but living in New Zealand, everything's like I usually watch it the day after, so this was actually quite comfortable for me.
What time was it for you? Also, do you mind talking into your mic a bit more or a bit closer?
Okay, is this a little bit better?
Yeah, that's a way better.
Sorry, dude.
No, all good.
So this is one of the first times that I get to watch it in the afternoon, like you usually would, and I think I watched it at 5 o'clock. We had guests over. Everybody was really excited to see Liam Lawson do well.
Oh yeah.
But I guess we'll touch on that a little bit later.
Oh no. That was
Mate, the whole of New Zealand was so keen. It was the first time anybody. It was the first time anybody had been keen for Formula One in the whole of New Zealand's history. And it was just shambolic. How did you find the race, my man? Nice way to wake up on a Sunday, surely.
It was honestly so epic. From start to finish, it was just like excitement. It felt like the precursor to an amazing season. And if this is what the first race has in store for us, like I can't wait for the rest of the season. Like, obviously we're kind of picking up from McLaren crushing it in a sense, like we could see their strength, but yeah, I don't know, it felt amazing. It felt palpable. Like everything felt like it was a new era, but it's also the end of an era in a sense, but it's like it felt really good.
You're absolutely right. I think you said that perfectly. It feels like the culmination of however many years it's been, 4 years of just leading up. Even in Q1, I think the qualifying times in Q1 was 0.6 of a second all the way down to P17, and that includes Bortoleto getting into Q2. It was everything so much closer than we could ever imagine, and everything is just out of Max Verstappen's reach enough for it to be exciting, because you know he's going to reel in whoever's in front, even if he's got a dog of a car. But it's definitely shaping up to be an excellent season. So Rob, we should probably get into it, mate. We got a couple of sections and things to dive into in this podcast. The first one's going to be McLaren. Did they live up to the hype?
Yeah, they definitely did, right? It was nuts. Their strategy was bang on. Their Lando Norris didn't mess up. They had pace. They had, I mean, the only person actually I don't think he did bad. I just felt really upset for Oscar Piastri, at the end of the day. But I think everyone else in the team, I mean, it's not even his fault. He was just driving super hard. But I think everyone in that team did super well this last weekend. What do you think? Do you think they crushed it?
Yeah, I think that McLaren stomped, put a marker on pretty much where the season's going to go for them. It started in quali. They looked really good in practice. Obviously, it's so different going from a dry quali to a race. You got all sorts of different setups that you have to take into account. So you could really screw the pooch on it. But with the way that they qualified, 1 and 2 by tenths of a second, they were well ahead of the pack. As soon as the race started, it was good to see that Lando got out of the gate, didn't mess up. He just seems a much more sure and steady driver than he was at this stage last year. I think he would have lost the lead somewhere along there or made some sort of mistake, which is great. It's a pity for Piastri. He and Lando basically went off at the same corner. He just was a little bit more unfortunate to spin around at the second to last corner. And, but credit to him, what he did do that I think was incredible was he didn't bring out a safety car. He kept that car going, reversed onto the track, because that could have been a swinging moment in the race if he was beached and they had to get a safety car in. You might have seen Max pit, and who knows what could have happened there.
Yeah,
The safety
that
car could have come out. Max could have pitted the lap after Lando because the safety car hadn't come out yet, and that would have given Max track position in the wet. And so I think overall, really, really good for McLaren, and I think that they definitely stamped their mark as the team to beat this year.
that moment of Piastri keeping it on track was epic. I mean, that's such like a weird thing to see, but it's so cool to see that moment like of a teammate of a team doing like the best thing possible, like keeping it. Like a lot of people would just throw in the towel and be like, "Shut, thanks so much for having me." And especially if you crash out like that, like you're coming second and you're on your teammate's ass, right? You are there. And unfortunately, it just went wrong. And he still did the right thing, right? That's for me. And you remember, we've said this in our previous lifetime when we were the slipstream. I was giving Oscar Piastri shit, but like the man has really proven to me that he's a great driver. I think he's really got the chops, more so than I've ever actually seen in other rookie drivers, right? Like he's a beast.
Yeah, no, he's. I think that and the home crowd behind him, you definitely want to get off to a strong start in the season, and you don't want to go out with any sort of whimper. But Piastri and Norris, I would say, is the strongest driver pairing on that grid. Hamilton and Leclerc seem like a great driver pairing in terms of stats.
Yeah,
But
paper.
you remember when Leicester City won the Premier League?
Yeah,
They didn't have any outright stars or Real Madrid, Barcelona type players, but what they had was a really solid team and a really solid team of great players. So McLaren strike me as the most solid package all round, and I think it's going to bode very well for them season. And I reckon Piastri, the two people in it for the title, are going to be Piastri and Norris and Verstappen. I should probably always put Verstappen there, but it looks like the only time papaya rules is going to come into effect this year might be if there's a title challenge on.
for the layman, and I mean me. What's what's papaya rules? I've heard of it, but what is it? They can fight. They can throw papayas at each other.
Uh, it's the rules of engagement around attacking one another on track. So papaya rules. Papaya is the color of McLaren.
Yeah,
So that's the rules in which you're allowed to engage. You can't just free for all attack. You know, they might say You can attack under certain instances, like maybe on certain corners that are low risk. You can maybe give each other a really wide berth, only overtake in DRS zones, that sort of thing. But they have to do that. They have to keep it really controlled in order to get the Drivers' Championship as well as the Constructors. Otherwise, they're going to be at each other's necks. But I don't see that happening. They seem like they've got good heads on each other.
I just don't think it's the fitting name for what it is. I think a better name would be like the Brown Note or something.
The Brown.
Do you get it?
Yes, I do.
Zach Brown.
I do.
Damn, dude. I was actually telling
Isn't the Brown Note where you poop your pants if you,
it is,
you
yeah.
play that key?
Come on, it's like everything. You hold on to your butts. That kind of shit. That's what it means. And then it's so fitting with Zach Brown. And I must tell you, because I'm also 100% a layman, I enjoyed the new Drive to Survive season a lot. A lot of people are like, "Oh, they're making fake drama." I mean, sick, yeah. I mean, probably the drivers don't like it, but I'm sitting there like, yeah. Make shit up.
Did you watch the entire thing?
I'm almost finished, I think. Yeah.
I think as soon as you've finished, Rob, what we'll do is we'll do an episode reviewing what we think of Drive to Survive from somebody who's a bit more in the know, like me, and somebody who is very, very pro Drive to Survive. I would 100%. I'm pro Drive to Survive. I banged that thing out in a heartbeat. I mean, I'm done. I think I was done with it within 2 days worth of watching. But we'll do that. We'll do a special episode on our feelings on Drive to Survive as a whole and how good the season was this year round.
Probably going to
sound good.
So many people by saying I liked it.
Dude, I loved it. Don't even dare. We could call this show Drive to Survive and they can shut up. They're wrong. So getting on to our next bit, Ferrari.
Oh.
Ferrari. I sent Rob a video yesterday of the only way I could describe it was a goat running into a fiery pit and somebody yanking them out, and it had the goat listed as Ferrari fans. And this guy had to keep yanking his goat out of jumping into this fiery suicide. And I think that's how you must feel as a Ferrari fan sometimes. It's the start of the season, and Ferrari have had a tricky road in. Winners last time with Carlos Sainz in Australia last year, but Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc really not getting a lot out of the car, and overall just struggling.
I understand it did not go well, but I also think it's just early days. Hey, it's very early days. I know Hamilton's still getting used to the steering wheel. We saw some weird escapades there. I think it's early days. I give it time. Last season, McLaren were also shitting the bed, right? And then all of a sudden they came out of nowhere and started wiping the floor with people. So but also we are at the end of an era, so you should have kind of worked out your kinks. But I still don't think you can count them out. Anything can happen. But yeah. It's not looking good. It wasn't a good day.
Yeah, Ferrari. Fred Vasseur has been touting that it's a completely new car for the 2025 season, which I think would be just a ridiculous thing to do if that is the truth. Hamilton struggling with the communication overall. I think going from Bono at Mercedes for almost a decade, more than a decade, I think. Going from, it's like communicating with your wife in an essence, or a business partner. You have to be so in sync around a track. So it does take a little bit of getting used to. And he said it himself, he's only really been there for 2 months as of now, which isn't a long time to get used to a new car, new steering wheel, new everything. A new way to dance is a trick. So they do get some sort of reprieve on that, but if Charles Leclerc is struggling and so is Lewis Hamilton, and they're more or less finishing together. I think that it signs something a bit more, or it has a little bit more to do with the car than it does the drivers. Um, but I think you're right. Like you said, they definitely have the entire season to develop. But what I worry about is when do they bridge that gap where they start focusing on 26's car and just completely stop working on 25's car, because that comes closer in a new regulations, in the lead up to a new regulations than ever before. So we're going to see the final product with very few upgrades coming before the summer break, and that will tell us whether or not Ferrari really are in the hunt. But a cautious start, I would say.
Yeah, extremely cautious. The Hamilton getting used to the sound is also going to be like really intense. Fuck, man, I actually sometimes feel for him, but because like this was a move that he made at the beginning of last season. It's been something that's been led up to. We've been leading up to this moment to see if this is going to be the team that takes Lewis Hamilton to his 8th victory or his 8th championship. And it didn't go well, right? But I still have hope.
Yeah, look, he's got 2 years, and all he wants to do is race in a red car. Brought his dad with, and his dad was there for well, this probably fits the bill for the best way to segment or segue into our next part of discussion, which would be the rookies. Lewis Hamilton isn't a rookie, but there were a couple of rookies out on track and out in the race. It was something quite special to watch. Alex Albon said in the lead up, rather tongue in cheek, he said, "Good luck to the rookies," and he wasn't wrong with I think Antonelli being the only rookie in the whole field who finished that race.
Literally. Even Fernando Alonso didn't finish. Even that rookie didn't finish.
Unbelievable. So obviously Isaac Hadjar taking what might be one of the more embarrassing moments of his entire career, taking it really to heart, out on the formation lap, not even making the end of turn 2.
That sucks so much, mate. That is the most harrowing experience, I think.
Isaac Hadjar out on the formation lap, Jack Doohan out after 4 or 5 corners. Those are, I would say, 2 blokes who are under immense pressure.
Yeah.
Liam Lawson not lasting the entire race. Gabriel Bortoleto, I can give him a little bit of sympathy. He drives an absolute dump truck.
Wheelie bin.
Yeah, it's just it's really unfortunate for him.
Did you see that clip of them? Well, there's like a video that everyone put together of the rookies chatting around a table, and they're talking about, like, I don't know, they're just swapping stories or just chatting shit. And did you see Jack Doohan's like imitation of Isaac Hadjar, like when he wrecked his car, I think in F2 or F3? Oh my god, it is like poetry. I will find the sound clip and
the car. Mate, yeah, no, mate, I destroyed the car.
No, I destroyed the car. No.
People have already been clipping it all over, but people are
Is it epic?
No, it's disgusting. it's so not good.
Doohan's he's actually so funny, mate. Like his F1 fantasy team that he team name was Doohan OK, which I was like, oh, that's an excellent name.
Oh no, I hope.
But yeah, overall, a tough weekend for the rookies. As far as ranking the rookies in terms of best weekend out to worst weekend out, we're gonna do this. We're gonna start with Isaac Hadjar. Rob, all we're gonna do is we're gonna give him a rating. 1 being as poor a day out as possible, and 5 being as good a day out as possible for your debut. So let's start with that. Isaac Hadjar.
A -5, boy. Jesus, what am I?
Yeah.
A radio presenter? No, but it was. It's the worst. I'm sorry, and he would even rate it like that.
Yeah, he would. I think that a lot of people are giving Helmut Marko a lot of stick for saying that it was embarrassing that he was being hugged and consoled by Anthony Hamilton. It's embarrassing. You can't be hugged by somebody else's dad while you're in the pinnacle of Formula One racing. Unfortunately, yeah. Go cry somewhere else. Just don't do that. I just gave you a really good job. You're one of the top 20 drivers in the world. Not good enough. It's a terrible day out for Isaac Hadjar.
So many people were like, "Oh, see, Hamilton's family is amazing," and like, "Oh, that is such a special moment," and blah blah blah. It's hectic, and it's almost like a play, but I actually just think it's just him being him.
Yeah, he's hit that stage in life where he's seen his kid go through anything, and also you can't hit somebody else's kid. So, but you can hug him, I guess. Next in line, Rob, Gabriel Bortoletto. What did you think of his performance this weekend?
Better than others, especially also given circumstances, given the weather. Also, how long he's also been on that car for less than a fetus. So I would give him a decent. Oh, wait, what? 5. I'd give him the best out of the rookies.
You'd give interesting.
Yeah. Well, apart
I
from
would go with a.
It's just.
I'd give Bortoletto a 2.5. It seems in my head to be quite a tough score because even though Gabriel Bortoletto crashed out of the race, which I'm not sure if you remember that, he did qualify very, very well, and he got that Sauber dump truck out of Q1 into Q2, which ahead maybe a little bit suspect, but he was ahead of Liam Lawson, and who else went out in Q1?
Liam Lawson basically took him out though, right?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
No.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Really?
Liam Lawson spun out in front of him and then he fucked out.
No, Liam Lawson spun out a completely different corner.
Nah. I don't remember that.
Well, we'll find a live replay. I'm happy to be wrong about this, and I hope I'm wrong.
I remember feeling that
I believe
out of all the rookies that crashed out, and that Bortoletto was the best, in my opinion. Who else did better? He felt like the more confident, comfortable driver out there at that moment. He did fuck up.
Yeah. I feel like Antonelli did a really, really good job considering he came from the bottom 5 to P4, which is pretty good. And he finished the race in a Mercedes, and he's only 18 years old. So I feel like Antonelli, in my opinion, gets a 4.5 for his debut. I think he did super, super well.
It's a 10 out of 5 for me, bro.
I love the way Bortoletto gets a 5. He's the best guy in the whole world, and then Antonelli gets a 10 out of 5.
Exceed like Kimi's debut was epic, right? From 12th to 5th. That's amazing. Bortoletto was the shiniest piece of turd out there. I give him a 5. Everyone else, it just gets worse, right? Jack Doohan, 1. Okay, wait. Let's just say I'm getting way ahead of myself. But yeah, I'm harsh love. I'm like two extremes. All the love, all the hate. Kimi Antonelli, all the best.
I'm a little bit more of a generous god than you. I'm going to be giving Jack Doohan, I'll give him a 3 for the whole weekend. I don't think that it's a lot of people's fault that they crashed out on what is a crazy slippery street track in the rain for your first race. First-ish race. He's never raced in the wet before.
He's never raced in
with
the
an
wet
F1
before.
car.
Oh, okay.
With an F1 car. It was a completely different thing. It was quite an innate spin. And I think that he was within Gasly's range the entire weekend. So, as far as I see it, a decent weekend for Jack Doohan, apart from the spin. I think that he'll gather himself and he can hold himself in there quite well. One thing that I do think we should probably give our biggest verdict on is Liam Lawson in a tricky Red Bull car, not doing any better than Sergio Perez. What are your thoughts?
What are you? I'm very disappointed, to be honest, and way more disappointed than like seeing someone like Isaac Hajar crash out. I think. Are you adjusting your legs there? Sorry.
Yeah, my bum has gone completely numb and it is so uncomfortable in here.
Sorry, mate. You must get a cushion.
I have a cushion.
Oh, get another one. Well, not.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make this quick. Liam Lawson, extremely disappointed. I don't think the car. Well, I'm not an F1 driver, so what the hell do I know? But I think someone else would have done a lot better. I think we all think this. I don't think if Sergio Perez was in this situation that he would have done or been in the same situation that Liam Lawson is. Do you think Danny Rick would have done the same?
Hard to tell. There were clear setup differences on the cars. Lawson was running a lot lower and had a much more narrow front end. So what that gave the car or took away from the car is hard to know. So you don't have
Is that his own preference?
He was running a completely different spec to Verstappen.
Okay.
So what that gives or takes away, is hard to know. I'm going to give Liam a little bit of tough love on this, which I usually don't. I usually give him quite a lot of love, but it is concerning to see somebody get brought down to earth very quickly. And Liam's had a very rude awakening, a kangaroo awakening, and I think that this is going to be something very tough, where he knows who he's replacing, he knows why he's replacing Perez, and his only job really is to do better than Perez, to shut everybody up, and he did a really poor, sloppy job of doing that this weekend. So I'd give Liam about 5 races grace, in the sense where he doesn't have to outperform the car, but he's got to make something happen really quickly, otherwise he's in trouble. The Red Bull machine doesn't stop for anybody, Rob.
No, we know this. We've seen the lives it's taken, right? Albon.
Yuki Tsunoda's in the wings there, and I think Yuki would say yes to the opportunity. But maybe the Red Bull's just not that good a car. I'd love to see Verstappen in an RB. I think that's a better thing to do. See if that RB is a better car.
Yeah, it kind of makes you think, hey, like if the Red Bull car has actually just been a hunk of shit for the past 2 years for some reason, and Max Verstappen is this god that can just bring out like the speed in a tractor. Imagine what he could do then in like another team, but I doubt that. Come on, let's be real. But
yeah,
it's so funny to think he is really good. He is insane.
He's the talent of this generation by miles.
What about
He
Lando,
really is.
bro?
No, Max is something special. He really, really is.
What about Kimi, bro?
We'll see.
Generation.
I think Max might be the best that ever has been. I think he's.
You just called him a has been. Okay, no, I get it.
Did not.
Okay, wait.
There was some other notable parts of the race that I want to touch on just very quickly.
Wait.
I never get to celebrate a Williams victory. I never get to see Williams do well. So to see Alex Albon even provisionally come fourth, but later down to fifth, it shows great signs for Williams, and that's a point of personal pride for me to see them back in the hunt. And I think that's just great for motorsport to see a team come from the ashes and really start getting their act together.
Yeah. Clay and Frank Williams, or Frank rest his soul, are quite chuffed, hey?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I mean, they sold at the right time. They needed that investment. They needed people to take over. But that's
is she not involved
that's part of the plan.
in any way anymore?
No, they
Not at
bought the
all.
team Dorsey
Okay.
Capital.
Well, at least the name is still out there and going, right? Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to give my thoughts. Amazing to see Albon up there. Bit disappointing to see Sainz also crash out. But like a flippin' phenomenal performance from Williams this past weekend. It made me like believe. And I've already said it to other people, and you're also a big backer to this, or big reason why I'm doing this. I am backing Williams this entire season.
Great.
Yeah. I think definitely underdogs, right? Definitely want to see them do well. I want to see Jimmy V do super well.
Oh, my bum is in so much pain. Keep talking.
We won't clip that. But no, I'm super chuffed for them. They had the pace. The car's looking good. It's only the start of the season though, so they mustn't have a speed wobble. But they need a focus. But it's looking good. I want to see more from Sainz. Obviously, everyone wants to see more from Sainz. Hello, Bessie. But yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that's it's good to hear. I want to see Williams right at the front again, but I'm on the hype train, all aboard that baby right now. All right, Laura. Finally, that brings us on to our didgeridoos and didgeridon'ts of the race, and the sort of things that you don't do or do while racing in the wet in Australia.
Okay.
And I'll start with my didgeridoo. My didgeridoo.
Wait. Sorry. I just need a...
Okay. Didgeridoos and didgeridon'ts. Excellent. Can't believe that's a thing that they have there, mate. It's so weird.
Nuts. Can you do that?
So my didgeridoo of the season is didgeridoo pit as soon as you know that the rain's on the way. I feel like every person who did pit under the as soon as Oscar went off, gained an amazing amount of time, and it was absolutely the correct strategy to go for.
It was difficult though, right? Like it's a difficult season or difficult. You can look like the fool or you can look like the hero, right? Max and Hamilton stayed out on slicks at one time, I don't know what lap it was, but I was literally like on the edge of my seat. I was like, if this is the moment that like literally just takes the whole race, that's nuts. And then they both looked like the biggest geniuses on the face of the planet. Everyone would be like, this is why he's 7-time world champion. And you know, obviously it didn't work out. But like that kind of like risk taking made me super excited. But the safe way was the better way, 100%. So I 100% agree with your didgeridoo. Do you want to hear my didgeridoo of the race?
Yes.
Didgeridoo rub Lewis Hamilton's face in the fact that his Ferrari is way slower than the McLaren and overtake him on the last lap with such anger and vigorous speed, because that's the only way you should do it.
You're talking about Oscar Piastri's amazing overtake into turns 9 and 10.
What? The man's a legend. Like that
unbelievable.
Was nuts. But
that might have been one of the best overtakes of the entire season already.
It's dangerous though, hey? He could have lost it, and then then he would have really looked like an idiot. But he nailed it. So, shut up. But
yeah, definitely. And onto our didgeridonts. My didgeridont is don't let Anthony Hamilton anywhere near you if you've crashed a car and you're trying to keep yourself respectable. I just don't. I feel bad for the boy, and what you want to be known for is strong, capable, and I might sound really, really arse-ish here, but he held on to the man for too long, and I don't think that it may be the right thing to do, but it's the wrong thing to do in the eyes of your employers, and those are the people giving you a seat in Formula One. So that's my didgeridoo.
Yeah. Gotta show strength, eh? You gotta show resilience. What would you have done though then? You know what I mean? Okay, first of all, the boy's crying. Would you then just all of a sudden shake his hand? You know what I mean? You're just walking and then you're like, ugh. What do you do? Or do you shove him off? And
a little quick hug, and then I'd get as quickly and as far away from it as possible. I'd just get myself back to the changing room. I wouldn't let the hugs continue.
You know what? My gears are turning here. If you shrugged him off or pushed him away or showed any kind of uncomfortability, guarantee you fans of Lewis Hamilton and other F1 fans would look at this moment and be like, Isaac Hatchard's an absolute prick. Okay. And then he's still gonna not impress. So from a PR perspective, I think he did great. But from a managerial perspective, he didn't do the right thing. But also, Helmut Marko is a fossil who has some very weird background issues that I'm never going to go into. Other people can. So eventually his time will be up. Helmut Marko, doesn't matter. I think Isaac handled it in the best way he could. It's a very heartbreaking moment. I think he still should have showed a little bit more resilience, but that was a shit hand to be dealt either way. There's no way about it.
True you are. Rob, I'm going to ask that you give your didgeridoo and we can say goodbye and look towards China, because my bum is honestly it's so much discomfort. Waffling. It's crazy.
I'll give
me your didgeridoo, my man.
Oh shit. My didgeridoo is don't give extremely obvious answers to your drivers on the first race of the season, and just really solidify the fact that your team is inept and doesn't even know how to talk to each other on the radio.
That is the correct answer. Actually, Robert, that is the exact correct answer. I completely forgot to even add that in. Ferrari, what a bloody joke. And Charles' response was just water. Excellent.
Is there water in there?
I guess it's because of the water. It's okay.
The water.
Thanks, idiot.
Okay.
Poor Charles Leclerc. Well, Rob, that takes us into looking forward to next weekend, my man. The Chinese Grand Prix, an awkward circuit with probably the worst first two corners on the whole calendar, but I think it's going to be a good one. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna sign out of this pretty quickly, buddy. So play the music, Rob. Sweet. Thanks everyone to listening here, and I appreciate Rob for putting up with me moving and fidgeting around throughout the entire podcast. Yeah, Rob, we're gonna be setting up that YouTube page and everything really soon, dude. But this has been a lot of fun, buddy. I look forward to doing this next week and for every race weekend with you, my man.
Yeah, me too. I'm very keen. We have a lot of fun things planned. We've got some cool logos coming through because we've yet to establish a logo. We've got tons of races that you're going to educate me on because yeah, just keen to have fun with you, man. It feels good to be back in the swing of things.
Yeah.
I'm getting really stupid with our editing and with sound bites and bullshit. So I'm gonna have fun, you know?
Yeah, dude, let's keep it well. Well, if you do feel like subscribing as soon as we start uploading these to YouTube and giving us a little follow on either Spotify or wherever we are uploading our podcast to,
Where do you get them
that
from?
would be really, really, really fun. And yeah, Rob, we'll be seeing each other next week. We go from down under to I'll think of a Chinese pun that's politically correct for next week. But until next time, dude,
Too hard.
we'll see everyone in the next episode, I guess.
Awesome.
What a
Cheers,
great
everyone.
time.
Garage.
Bye.